Okay. And we're live.
Hello.
So, this is the last game. Okay, technically it's not the last game released chronologically. That was Star Fox 2, but let's be real, that game was finished in the 90s. It just wasn't officially released until 2017. I'm going to call this the last released Star Fox game because in terms of like when it was actually developed, I think it's the last. And yes, I know Star Fox got released on the same day. We already did that one. So this one's last by default. All right. No further arguments will be heard. Case is closed.
But why do they call it Star Fox Zero if it's the last one?
Because it's a prequel to the rest of the series.
It's totally not a reboot.
Except
It is and it's not, but it's not, but it is.
I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's a reboot. I mean, it's a game about the Lilat Wars again, so that would be. Let's see. It's only the third one, right? It feels like there've been more. So Star Fox 1, and then Star Fox 64, and then this game. And I guess if you want to count 64 3D, I guess that would be 4, but that's a remake, like port.
It's a report.
Mission report.
Fission nailed.
Indeed.
Happy hair. Even though he never had a pain.
Yeah, he doesn't do that. Slippy. Oh look, it's the robots from Star Fox Guard. I'm just realizing that now. Because I hadn't seen it before. And guess what? It's back. Don't worry, we'll get into that later.
Its first official appearance, technically.
Yeah, if you want to be pedantic, yes. Look, the whole fact that Star Fox 2 existed for all this time and wasn't released just makes everything... It throws everything out of order.
This game has a weird chronology. It goes from... It starts at 1, goes to 2, to 64, and then back down to 0.
Hey, I mean, look at you know, Mario.
Yeah, it goes
1, 2, 3... No, 1, 2, 3 World. 64.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Okay, so obviously I have things unlocked because I've beaten the game before, and I did not want to delete my save data for this.
I wouldn't want to either.
I mean, I assume I can just like start a new campaign.
If you go
But I'll have everything unlocked is the thing, so you can see like everything is on the map.
Spoilers. There's
things in this game. Look, I'm spoiling literally everything. There you go.
I forgot this game actually has roots.
There's the entire.
Venom is in this game? No. Venom can't be in a Star Fox game.
Venom is in this game. So I guess, should I just ignore all of the warps on the first run? Basically play as if I'm on a new file?
Yeah.
Actually, you know what I should do before I get into anything? Let's do the tutorial. So the game, like when you boot up a new file, will make you do the R-Wing tutorial. It will not make you do the tutorials for the other ones. I'm actually not sure if those are required or not throughout the course of the game.
We're going to need audio for the R-Wing training.
So guess what? Yeah, this game is doing the
Hey,
playing
Fox,
audio
check
through the
WiiU
gamepad
gamepad volume.
thing. So guess what? You get to hear it through my microphone.
A cute
If
gimmick.
we hear it at all.
Whether you can hear it is going to depend on if Discord actually picks it up. I mean, it is speech.
Oh, I muted. I muted
What?
it. That's why. I muted the
Oh, the game feed.
stream. Yeah.
That's like
I don't
half
know
the reason
when I
I'm
did
doing it for you, so that you have the game audio.
Yeah, I don't know when the hell that happened though.
I missed the laser upgrade.
So by the way, we won't be seeing this ain't the side that the
Well, you can use this view.
well I meant we won't. Like
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I will not be using this view for most of the gameplay.
well I meant the top screen will be using the
Yeah, usually
Yeah.
it's the other.
It's the out of cockpit view, I think. They're saying the same thing.
Mm.
All right, so obviously, I guess you know, now is as good of a time as any to talk about controls. I might actually.
One of the reasons this game did so poorly is that every review hit the controls and there's immediately a hard no. Sometimes it's a little annoying to do some of the abilities.
It's a little hard to hear you, actually. I think part of that is just because, like, I'm listening to the game audio in my headphones, and then I'm also, I also have the gamepad audio. It's like multiple audio sources.
that's a lot of audio.
I missed the laser upgrade again. So, yeah, obviously this game is, honestly, it's kind of like Star Fox Guard in that it expects a lot out of you in terms of all the things that you have to do. So, like, obviously I'm piloting the ship with the left stick. I'm using gyro controls to aim the cursor around, which I guess you don't, strictly speaking, have to do.
You can in fact turn it off.
But yeah, like you can turn the gyro off. But I'd argue that you're putting yourself at a disadvantage by doing that.
I turned it off, like, I put it only on if I'm trying to fire. Because...
But anyways, so there's that, and what the game's trying to get you to do is, so you have the out-of-cockpit view on the top screen, which is what you're seeing right now, and then there's also the cockpit view on the gamepad, and the game wants you to swap between these two views, so you use the R-Wing for flying and steering, and then you can use the gamepad for precision aiming. But trying to swap between the screens in an action game is not a good idea. In fact, it's a terrible idea.
It is one of the reasons, again, that this game bombed. That's what actually what I was referring to. 'Cause
Well,
some of the items later on
I'd
require
like to
you
point out that, I don't think the gyro is actually bad at all. What really gets me about it is that you'll notice, like, I have my cursor on screen right now aiming at that rock, and you'll see that my shots are missing. And that's because the on-screen cursor, like the one that you're seeing right now, is accurate to the cockpit view, not, you know, where you're actually pointing on the screen. So, ostensibly, the reason that they did this is because they want you to look at the gamepad to aim at things with the cursor. But if you ask me, this game would be so much better if you just didn't have to look at the gamepad at all, and you know the on-screen cursor was just accurate, and that's all you had to look at. But of course, this game, you know, kind of became the poster child of the Wii U and the gamepad, because Miyamoto is desperately trying to make it work and justify its existence in a single-player experience. And of course, you know, Star Fox Guard got roped into that as well, being the experimental Project Guard prototype.
Yeah. Again, it's
So,
what
you know,
people-
I think this game would have been better with less, you know, like embrace the idea that less is more, but of course, gotta do something new, or else, you know, we don't have a reason to make this game. Clearly.
Hopefully that'll change now with how well Dread did.
I mean, that's, I had something that I was going to say. What was it?
That's a possible good thing that Dread may cause a bunch of positives to happen.
Well, we'll see. I mean, it's Nintendo. You know, one game isn't enough to convince me that they've completely changed their ways. Oh, okay. You know what? I know what I was going to say. You know, even if they had fixed like the issues with the controls, which is definitely a problem, I don't know if it would have completely fixed everything, like all of the issues that I have with this game. And maybe issues is a bit strong. I mostly like, this game is basically just an HD port, or like, I guess, reimagining of Star Fox 64. Obviously, you can tell if you know, looking at the Great Fox and the design of the R-Wings, and it'll become even more apparent once we actually get into the game, just how similar this game is to 64 in a lot of ways. They lifted a lot of things from 64 for this game, so that's also kind of something that I think works against it in terms of making it a unique experience that feels like it needs to exist.
That is a good way to place it.
Come on, guys. I want to get down to Corneria. Let's get going.
Because at least for me, the game is not, you know, like the gameplay isn't compelling enough on its own, and the other parts of it aren't, you know, enough to really even come close to replacing 64 for me. So it kind of fails in that regard. Is there a way for me to view the intro? Will that happen if I click on Corneria? Or will it just launch me into the stage? This is a problem that I hadn't really considered. I think this might just throw me into the level. So
Personally, I don't know.
That's if you wouldn't mind looking that up for me, I would appreciate that. Oh, prologue. There it is in the main menu. I can read menus. I'm definitely paying attention. There you go. Question answered.
I was gonna say I thought I saw something on the main screen for it, but
This is just the intro thing that we watched. Except, is there going to be dialogue this time? I thought this was going to be like the text scroll. Oh, that's no bueno. Encoder's getting overloaded on this cutscene occasionally. Going to knock it down. It's still really.
Wait, Slippy's using one of the robots from Star Fox Guard. That traitor, I knew he was working with Pikmin the entire time.
I just think like they took one of.
They sound.
Also,
It is really like stressing the encoder right now. This pre-rendered cutscene. I hope that's not adversely affecting the video too much.
it's a little blurry.
Oh, there we go. Well, I'm not talking about the one you're seeing right now.
I'm the leader of Star Fox, an elite fighter squadron established by ex-Cornerian flying ace James McLeod, my father.
So you've talked about your like when you're talking about the like I got to
investigate strange activities
how
Venom.
it like how you said it's basically a retelling of 64 in a way.
Venom had become the base of operations for
Did you
Andross,
say anything else
a
after that?
Spanish scientist. 3 pilots flew out
Red.
on that mission. My
I
father,
mean, probably.
James, his best friend and wingman.
We've been speaking a little bit.
And Pigma Dengar, an honorless slime ball who volunteered for the assignment.
My things is that
Turns out
when
Pigma
I
was working
played
for
through this,
Andross the whole time. No one saw it coming.
I only used the cockpit view
Pigma betrayed Peppy and
I
my
act-
father and led them
like a
straight
couple
into a
times.
trap.
Well,
Otherwise-
I generally
My father sacrificed
don't
himself
use the
to create a
cockpit view
version
all that
so
much
Peppy
if I
could
don't have
escape.
to.
Barely making it
But
home with his life,
the
Peppy
way
knew
how I
upon
made
him
sure I
to
didn't have
report
to use
the
the
courageous
cockpit
last
because
moments
I
of James
locked
McLeod.
my freaking
At the same time, he delivered the news
my
to Andross and
cursor.
amassed a terrifyingly
Why
huge army
is
and intended to conquer the entire
why
Lilac
is my
system.
CPU utilization like maxed out? This is very concerning to
And
me.
so began the Lilac Wars.
It was doing it during the pre-render cutscene. It's like stuck at 100% right now.
5 years have passed. The battle between the Cornerian army and Andross's forces is spreading to every planet in the Lilac system.
I am really
Carry
curious
on
as to
my
why it is
father's
so
legacy,
high right
I
now.
brought Star Fox out of retirement. I've got the latest technology, and I'm filling the team with pilots. I
So
know
wait,
I
the
can
Lilac
trust.
Wars has been going on for 5 years in this continuity?
Mm-hmm.
Slippy Toad.
In
a
the previous
close friend
continuity,
and a gifted
it
mechanic.
just it was literally just a blitz and then a reverse
Falco Lombardi,
blitz.
a hotshot flyboy who's
This
got
is slightly
your back
more
when the
realistic.
going gets tough.
Yeah.
Peppy Hare, my father's old wingman, a seasoned pro and the glue that holds the team together.
But he's not a horse. I'm sorry,
That
that
brings us
joke.
to today.
You should feel bad.
I don't for some reason.
Message from General Pepper.
I feel bad, but that's mainly because I grew
Apparently,
up
Andross's army appeared out of nowhere and
a
launched
broomstick
full-scale
through
attack
a
on our once
wall.
peaceful capital.
not the
Now's our
pure
chance to
drywall.
honor my father's legacy and restore the Star
You might want to
Fox
get those
name.
anger issues.
Hear that, Andross? We're coming for you.
Checked out?
Yeah, a little bit.
Look.
Okay, I'm gonna keep an eye on the CPU utilization while we go through this first stage here, because it has been almost constantly maxed out during those cutscenes, and it's making me very concerned that there could be like frame time issues in the local recording, which is very bad.
Yeah.
It's like back up to 100. What the heck?
Urgent message from General Pepper.
Star Fox, do you read me? We're under attack from Andross's army. We need your help
Are you
immediately.
skipping the speech, or they
We'll
just
take the job.
don't? There's no voice
Andross won't
acting.
be getting his
It-
way
it-
inside.
It's coming through. It's coming through the gamepad.
Oh, again, yeah, no, that makes sense.
The only suggestion I could suggest giving is like putting the cord through a another thing, but like that's
What are you talking about?
like the headphone jack computer.
Oh,
And-
yeah,
There's
no,
no way to catch gamepad. I think people. have
no,
tried
I mean,
it.
I could record it if I used an audio jack from the gamepad output, but
That would be literally the only way.
We're under attack from Andross's army. We need your help immediately.
I'm just, you know, managing with putting the gamepad speakers in front of my microphone.
Check your G diffuser system.
Slippy here. I'm okay.
This is Pippy. All systems go.
Also, I can see now why several people have memed the opening to this.
All right, boys.
I'm Fox McCloud. My father's dead.
My father is dead. My mother is also dead. Everyone I love is dead.
Hopefully I can find a vixen in the future.
Honestly, I would love to see a modern remake of Star Fox Adventure.
So what's a real shame about this game is that some of the scoring mechanics are actually really cool. So like, you see I'm shooting enemies after I defeat them, and I'm getting extra hits from it.
I wonder if there's a low hits speedrun in this game.
Like minimum hits to survive. It's
Exactly that. A near pacifist run, if you will.
so like I think the game does have like some good things going for it on the gameplay front. It's just a shame that, you know, it doesn't always work, and we'll get to some of the things that really don't work later on.
The only thing
For
that's
the
really
most part,
close-
like, you know, the R-Wing levels are usually fine. Okay, so the recording is at like 100%. Like, or my CPU is at 100%. So I think after this, I might actually stop the local recording and actually look at it. Make sure we're not missing.
Doesn't this game have a thing about getting all of the
Flag.
getting all of the red gold rings?
Yeah, so there are, I think, 10 of them. I red scored this? What the heck? I haven't played this like since release. I just want to point that out. And they have multiple phases too. All right, so this this right here is one of the problems that the game has. So, okay, we're back into regular all range mode now, so we're all good. But, well,
Yeah,
you know what? I'll
sometimes-
wait. I'll wait until we
It's really awkward seeing the laser sweep out of the front of the thing in random directions.
yeah, because we can actually you can actually like aim it in different directions. It's not just coming out of one static place.
What? You shot down that many already?
So yeah, mainly what I just do is I just free aim it. Like I just look at where my shots are going and adjust.
What I do is literally just play it like a Star Fox 64. Which means sometimes I just, depending on the situation, if the top screen's acting,
So like
well,
you can see the game is like forcing your view on the
cockpit view.
no, on the top screen outside of the like just completely away from the cockpit view. And yeah, it'll do that sometimes.
Which is like one of the few times where I just switch to cockpit view.
Where are they? There you are.
And these things are another reason why you have to use cockpit. Why
Well,
cockpit?
They're not strictly speaking required. Like I'm not looking at the screen right now, but it does help sometimes.
In some of the later levels where these
Bug crawlers.
these fucks appear, they
Oh yeah.
That's FUQS for people that are interested. It's a mixture of fucks and bugs.
I think this game would have been a fine Star Fox game. Like, if Miyamoto then was like, oh hey,
I just had the worst thought ever. An Ace Combat game, Ace Combat devs making a Star Fox game, complete with the batshit insane stories.
Andrew Rosa. So,
So this is what I was talking about. Where guess what? We're gonna be locked on to that for most of the fight here. So you guys get to see the fun, quote unquote, cinematic view. Well, I basically have to look at the gamepad to actually be able to see anything.
That.
Yep.
now, Red, I have a question.
Answer.
You know the other way to kill this boss?
Yes, I was intentionally not doing that.
Alright, just making sure.
Wait, let me guess. You killed the center, and it causes
You have
it
to
pull
you
up
have to go
quicker?
inside with the walker.
But
But if this was a new file, you wouldn't have the ability to do that yet.
Yes, if you go into it, it would have on. That's what I did on the first playthrough.
I'm guessing it opens an alternate route.
Oh yeah. There's
No,
actually
it does.
another alternate route on the stage as well, but
It doesn't open an alternate route. It just
it kills the boss instead of it running away.
Oh my god, you guys stole a total of 29 hits? That's adorable. Also, that's 29 hits more than you guys would have gotten in a previous game.
Oh, that's the last medal. It's 300. Drat. So another good thing the game does that your teammates' hits actually count for you.
Oh, that's actually good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unlike certain previous games where they count as steals. All right. Yeah, I should definitely check the local recording through the game. All right. So on to the next level,
Sector something.
Alpha. Because this
Oh, so
is
they
this
changed
is
it.
totally not Sector X. Or I mean, I guess color-wise it'd be closer to like Z, but
Maybe Andros blows it
it's
up.
basically Sector X.
Sector Y, actually, I think. You're thinking of.
No, I think Sector Y was yellow.
Star Fox.
Why was yellow, blue was green? I'm not like color-wise it's closest to Z,
Approaching, and we
but
need you on the front lines.
level equivalents to 64 Ys. The closest one would be X.
Yeah, difficulty. We're
no,
talking
X
color.
was the secret base. X was the blue one.
I know X is
No,
the
no,
blue
no.
one. I'm not talking about color.
Shadow, he means difficulty. I mean color.
Are we talking
Well-
about the fleet battle? That's why.
Yeah, the fleet battle is Y. Oh, look, there it is. Look, he said the line.
And he's still wrong after all these years.
Maybe it's barrel in their terminology.
Well, they also theoretically wouldn't be speaking English. Wow, you got 3 hits for destroying a carrier.
Yeah, well, I got more hits for shooting it after it was destroyed. So
these ships that you're destroying are based off of the ones from Sector.
yeah, these are Sector
Um,
Y.
Yeah, well, the ones that are getting destroyed are from Sector Y. These ones are from Area 6.
Yeah.
Also, you gotta wonder how Corneria's
Yeah,
fleet-
crap! I missed the laser upgrade. It's going to be very hard for me to like talk.
That's okay.
And that's why you have us.
Theoretically. Is it possible to destroy all the enemy ships before they destroy everything?
Yes, it is.
Yes, but
It's really tough.
it's kind of difficult at times, especially if you're trying to shoot the other enemies and not the main ships.
You've been slipped.
Oh my god, Slippy, please stop.
Look, Slippy is going to try to be cool. Just
In this game-
just accept that, you know, it's a thing that's gonna happen. I should not aim at you, actually. Or should I?
No.
I
that
know
would
it's an
be
alternate path, but don't they not show up on your first?
fine. They don't show up at all.
I don't even know. Does this game have charge on lock shots? It's like a very technical thing that I wouldn't really expect either of you two to know.
What?
Charge on lock shots. So in 64, if you pressed both L and R, or sorry, Z and R, when you fired a shot, it would not lock onto an enemy, and you could get higher group shot kills if you didn't kill one of the enemies with the shot.
If you hold the L button while charging the laser, you won't lock on. It says so in the manual.
In this game,
Yeah, for Star Fox Zero.
I'm still getting the. Wait, you said L? Oh, it's L. Okay, not ZL.
Yeah, I would think that's too.
All right, so I was wondering if the chicken walker controls in this would be any better after playing Star Fox 2. And at least my first take is not really. What is it? Oh, it's wait. Oh, it's hold the R down to hover. Okay.
Also, apparently you can. shoot
So
homing smart bombs.
they're still yeah, that you can do that in let's see, 64 assaults. I'm not sure about adventures, but I mean, who really cares?
I think all of them you can shoot them on.
So yeah, actually, if anything, I don't know if this is going to be like a hot take or not, but I actually like Star Fox 2's Chicken Walker better. Because when you press sideways in that, you just walk sideways. Instead of what happens here, where you like, you know, it's like truly tank controls.
I think the thing is with this that they want the look controls.
Oops.
In my opinion, this game would have been better if they just if they ported to something else would probably.
Enemy shield analyzed.
So like, I don't like how you have to double tap the stick left or right to avoid things, but then that's also like kind of how you move, because you can't just move left or right. Like, you can't strafe.
Can't? I thought you could.
Unless you have to hold a button to do it or something.
Oh, let me grab my instruction booklet. Okay, 6. Guard and
Is there a way for me to like just move left or right without turning the camera with the left stick?
all right. I had to actually open up the WiiU.
I do kind of miss physical instruction booklets. And it's 300 again. So it's
Quick
not
turn,
it's
quick
not
turn.
terrible for now because they're not expecting that much out of you, but
Wing, Walker,
um,
sidestep, ZL, and
so it's hold
a
ZL.
left. Yeah.
All right, well, I can try that the next opportunity that I get.
I'm looking at the controls for the Landmaster. Mentions strafing, but the Walker does not.
No, it's ZL, ZL and left and the left control stick.
Left stick. So yeah, one other weird thing that I don't really get with this game is like the colors on the paths in 64 actually meant something. And in this game, they feel kind of arbitrary. You know, like why is this one red? I don't know. And that's a very minor thing, but you know, it is what it is. All right, I think upping the bitrate did actually help. Of course, it's going to make the file bigger, but deal with that.
We seized a weapon called the Gyrowing from Andross's forces. It's being held at Area 3's space colony. Now Andross's army is trying to take it back. You must stop them.
Oh yeah, hold Zeal as a walker to strafe. Okay.
I think I might have been doing it a bit, but I guess I'll see if I like it or not.
I think it also
I think we'll get the
as well.
opportunity later in this level, not at the beginning, but later on.
Yeah.
So we'll be landing on the ring. Be totally not a Halo.
Ring worlds are a thing of multiple pictures.
Halo just brought it back to the popular mindset.
Yeah.
All right, now hopefully I can actually see things.
Switching to all range mode.
Although this one looks more like it's meant to be a space colony than an actual ring.
So like I will say this, the game does feel good to play. I mean, not all of the time, but at least some of the time. Like when it works and pretty well too. Yes, the name of the team is Star Fox. I don't know what you were expecting.
I love the thought that your team of dogged adventurers who are capable, who have spaceships that are.
Well, here's the thing. We're still technically a new team in this game.
Oh, I don't understand that, but you have the most advanced starships that are accessible to the Cornerian army. You have X-wings, and they have TIE fighters. The people who did the most damage in the Death Star to the X-wing alliance with Darth Vader, he knocked out of the 30 ships in the air. I think Vader knocked out 24.
Ah, crap! I didn't. I wasn't aiming at the right place for where he was coming from.
Oh, you can destroy him in the cutscene?
Oh yeah,
That's good.
you can actually like kill them pretty much as they spawn. If you have double twin lasers and are firing during when they're flying in, because they'll just be like on a straight set path there. So one of the things that I actually do appreciate about this game is this targeting mode. Is actually pretty good for dogfights.
Wait, this is Ace Combat.
Yeah, I did not want to say that, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
What we need to do is
Hey,
stick
but
to your idea.
here's the thing. Like, it's a good
Mirai
thing.
doesn't
Like,
like it. Doesn't like this game much at all.
probably because of the controls.
Apparently, Smart Bomb takes off half its health. You're not even close to being the 4th Ace pilot in Star Wars. Hell, Pigment, you're not even the 5th.
The sad part is that's true. No, actually, he is the 5th because remember Oinkany, Andrew Oinkeny's there as well.
Yeah.
Andrew Oinkeny struggles with
Basic controls.
Andrew Oinkeny struggles with freaking stuff with Slippy. Granted, Slippy's not a bad pilot in this game, but
Okay, so it does lock. Well, I'm currently The camera's actually fixed right now. Yeah, the other thing is like you'll be relying on the gyro aiming a lot more on the walker. This is a lot harder to actually move your walker into the right position.
Yeah, that.
You don't have the same like degree of motion as the R-Wing.
What's the
Aren't these enemies from like the original Star Fox, or like they look like modernized versions of 16-bit game?
No, they look more like an enemy from I don't know, something else. I just don't understand what the point is of having an enemy dog walker, but then not actually having it move.
Don't ask me.
So we have to activate the Gigarilla.
Look at how awkward that animation is.
You know, the reason we don't have transforming vehicles in real life is because transforming vehicles require a significant amount of maintenance.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the Harrier. There is a thing in here. Yeah, I see you. There we go.
So another thing, one of the things that bogs me about this game, hyper laser.
No, I just want to turn. See, look, this is the problem. I'm using R to hover, but then I can't pivot to get onto the thing. Like this is a problem. I hate the walker in this game. It's so bad. Like, how do I turn in place? Is that even possible? No. This has the Mario 64 problem. That you cannot turn in place. Or yeah, see, that's the freaking problem. I try to like turn with the right stick, which you think like, oh, you know, if I guess I just can't. Hey, can I speak, please? Okay, so here's the thing. You can use the right stick to turn in place, but they mapped the friggin' dodge roll to flicking the right stick, and guess what you do a lot. You know, if I try to press it too quickly, like I guess I just have to like get used to that, the sensitivity with which I can use it to turn, but not like thing. I guess holding ZL makes it auto do the thing, because
yeah.
I'm just applying like light pressure to it, and it's still thing. But this is a lot of. Oh, did I? A second. Yeah. Okay. I have to stand on the thing. Wait. So, am I supposed to transform to get through this? Is that what was going on here? What's the button for that again?
A, I think. Was I right?
You were right. But, like, this game just has way too many things for you to remember. Like, you have to keep all this stuff in mind when you're playing it. And then you have to, like, master that in order to, you know, really make the most out of it.
Hey, a gyrocopter.
So, yeah.
And now, of course, my most neutral take on this, gyrocopter's meh.
So my main, well, I don't say, I mean, I have multiple problems
Gripes.
with it, but so it has lasers. Obviously, it's kind of slow. So obviously, they want you to use the robot to pick things up. So you have to like press A to lower it. You can't see what's on the gamepad. So the gamepad shows you the view of the robot. So again, it's another one of those things that like, oh look, this can only work with the gamepad, even though you could just switch to the view and then switch back. But you know,
Sounds getting really choppy, just so you know.
well, it's probably because it has the helicopter sound.
Yeah, it might actually be sounds coming out of the
Gamepad? Yeah.
The gamepad.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, it is.
That explains things.
What's the aim down button? Zio. So yeah, basically you can ascend or descend, and then so you know it's different, and I don't want to knock it for being different, but it's just not all that interesting, I guess. It's like, oh look, I opened something by pressing a button. It's not, not terribly unique. Well, I don't want to say unique, but like it's just words are hard when you're trying to focus on multiple things.
I'll be right back.
Fox, you have to quickly go
Like
and
this,
get this.
I mean, I guess the thing is that like this just isn't as interesting or fun to me as the R-Wing or Landmaster gameplay, you know? Yeah, I'm aware. Also, I think it's stuck with double lasers. Let me go and grab this ring over here. Yeah, I'm trying to grab ring here, game. Don't need to get up higher. There we go.
It's so great that the colony just has a giant panel right here on this inaccessible landing pad that controls the power to the entire station. So what's so good about this Gigarella thing? Why does Andros want
It's big and a gorilla. I don't know. I mean, he's a monkey. he has a thing for, monkey machines.
It's basically one of his ultimate land weapons.
Then why is it on the colony first off?
We captured it.
It was captured by the Cornerian army.
Are you gonna get to control the Gigarella now?
In a way.
Sadly, no, not directly. So you'll notice those enemies there have ports on the back, so you can
hack them?
lower that. Yep, you can hack them. I'm going to do it like once just to show you.
How useless it is, isn't it?
Oh,
no,
look,
just
I
shoot them
shut it down. Yep.
In a game based on hits.
So
Oh,
now I can
Gigarella just-
lead the Gigarilla around.
Please tell me that you can stomp on any of those little things and you'll get 6 hits.
I wish.
Oh, you have to shut them down to get the 6 hits?
I don't know about that.
It's just like my Japanese animes. Giant monkey kaiju suit comes out of nowhere and saves the day.
I'm just trying to wrap up the rest of the enemies here. Am I not getting credit for these hits?
Another thing, like sometimes the game won't give you credit if you're on a certain point. Like if you're fighting a boss, they won't give you credit for any of it.
Smaller enemies.
Yeah.
Are you coming over here? There you go. Yeah, I'm getting there. You know, just trying to destroy Andross's bases, or whatever they are.
Landing pods.
Landing pods.
You're not getting hits out of
There's
it.
one over there. So I guess it's not. There's no point. Thanks, game. Thanks for ruining my fun.
Thanks, Obama.
Yep, no hits. Why? Why do that?
So you can't farm them.
It's literally a stupid anti-farming measure.
Well, but they're not even respawning.
Because I guess you're supposed to kill them before you get. Look, my issue is how the pointing system works. Like, I can deal with the controls. I've dealt with worse controls. But, like...
So this is, I think this just throws us directly into the mission, which is why it's asking.
Yeah.
So on an initial playthrough, this is just a back-to-back deal. Yeah, this is actually a terrible idea. Upon further reflection. Let's go in here, you know, to Zonus with just a Gyrowing copter.
You are on a former Cornerian base on Zonus. That's the Zonus base, all right. Our poor base. Such a waste.
The base is being protected by a giant energy shield.
We can't reclaim the base while that shield is up. Turn off that shield, but do so without being spotted.
And here's one of the reasons people don't like the Gyrowing.
Dun 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 dun.
Yep, we're doing we're doing a stealth mission.
So the lock-on with the Gyrowing's missile.
Yeah, it fires a missile.
The missile does like jack shit to anything bigger than one of those sea monster things.
So, I forget. Am I not allowed to shoot them? I believe I'm not allowed to shoot them because that would constitute breaking stealth. Because I know you can like replay, or you can play this mission as an R-Wing, and then you can just destroy them on that.
The what? The sea monsters?
No, the spotlights.
No, you can't. The spotlights won't be destroyed. You have to hack them and then they'll.
No, I'm talking about when you play the level with the R-Wing.
Well, yeah, I mean, but I meant. I'm saying it's a gyrocopter. You can't damage them at all. Gyrocopter's too weak.
That actually makes sense.
Because of course it is.
And the thing is, you can do the R-Wing.
It kind of feels like the like there's way too many collectibles in these stages. Because you also have the silver. You've got
Yeah,
the gold.
those are a Gyrowing only thing. Those 10 silver medals. And then you've got 5 of like the gold medals for every stage. What am I what else am I missing? So I just like to point out that I'm like shooting things. How do they not know I'm here?
There's a lot of workplace injuries on Zonus.
Somebody should really tell OSHA.
They did. OSHA blew up.
Considering that.
Oh, OSHA doesn't exist in this universe.
Well, Andros definitely doesn't have an OSHA.
I like, yeah. I liked also the fact that wipe. Yeah.
Lord Andros, multiple explosions detected on Zonus. Are they within the normal expected range? Yes, sir. In fact, we have 20% less explosions today than usual. Then why are you bothering me?
This is Andros. Like literally, he went in. Like the story with Macbeth is that he literally like in a dispute over Macbeth. He literally just killed all the CEOs that were on Macbeth.
Like the enemies are even shooting at me. Like that's the best part. Nobody saw that.
Flip it.
Yeah, I like Cat's newer design, and by newer I don't mean this one. Yeah, be prepared to hear that a lot. 1 second, I should check the other side. Just make sure that there isn't anything. There isn't. We're good.
At least there ain't like 15 million gigorillas.
You can't see this, but I collected one of those medals. I mean, you can't see that through the very small text on screen, so that's something. Well, if you're waiting for Falco to show you chivalry, keep on waiting. Excuse me? What's shooting at me? Hi.
Oh hey, it's the Cornerian things.
It's the Cornerian things. Yes, those things from Corneria.
Look, I'm not very good with words.
Ah, yes, the poison. Cusco's poison. Poison for Cusco. The poison chosen specifically to kill Cusco. Cusco's poison.
When you have an essay to and you don't know how to pad out the word count except by doing that.
Basically. There's one down there. Is this where we do the dangle chord? Whee! Nope, I rubbed my face up against the wall a little too much. Oh, come on. Are you serious? They seriously have to time. Yes, the laser forced the rope up, I'm pretty sure. There you go. We did half of a thing.
Let's do our best next time. Say impossible.
So yeah, the Gyrowing is, you know, a thing. It's yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's like absolutely terrible, but it's mostly just eh.
The one I hate is the Landmaster, but not the Landmaster itself.
Are you talking about the
It's-
Gravemaster?
The Gravemaster.
That
Yeah,
sounds
we'll get
the-
to that.
Someone on a radio station. This is the Gravemaster 9000 here to give you some funky fresh beats from the 90s.
I mean, my main issue with the Gravemaster is just like, why does this exist? We have a Landmaster, or not a Landmaster, an R-wing that flies.
Why does the Landmaster exist?
It's because they, you know, wanted to give the
Everything a land.
they
a
well they
land-
wanted to give it, you know, a transformation into something that can fly. So here's a question. Where is the other objective? It's on the... Looks like it's on the other side of the thing, right? Oh, can I go under it? Not sure, actually. Am I missing something here?
Ooh,
Can I go over it? That would be a yes. Probably. Or no, because apparently I can't fly that high. Just a little bit higher is too much for me.
Fox, the gyrocopter can't go
Oh.
that far up.
Yeah, guess what? I'm gonna have to... I have to do some hacking.
Hopefully sometimes.
So the spotlight keeps moving during this, in case you're curious. Well, I guess it moves slowly. So that's a blessing of sorts. Can I deactivate you? I can. But like you can see how this is like a total pace killer, right?
Yeah, this is a real mood killer.
Oh, what? What? Oops. I'm getting shot at. I don't like this. Oh, I got seen. Oh, that's why. Wait, did you guys seriously just, like, give up? Oh, it's because they're aiming at the thing. Okay. Where was the bomb? You mentioned it. That we could like pick it up with direct eye. I'm pretty sure they want us to like blow the lid off of the roof there, because we can't get in normally, I think. I still have no idea where this is. Where it's supposed to be. Do either of you have a clue?
No, I'm sorry. I assumed you'd have to turn off some of the spotlights down there and get into the, and get in and deactivate the power generator.
I guess let me see if I can do anything to those. Oh, wait a second. We've got this side. I kind of wish like flying into things didn't deal contact damage. So there are a lot of times where I'm just trying to get close for the guy. Oh wait, can I? Oh, I can pick up those explosive things, can't I?
Yeah. I was trying not
there
to
we go.
tell you because I have.
We.
Do you have to drop it in the laser or on top?
Well, I thought it was on top, but maybe it's on the searchlights.
Oh, searchlights would make sense too.
All right. So it's not even like the ideas themselves are that terrible. I just don't think they're all that. What am I supposed to be? I can't drop it on those. They've got an overhang.
Shadow, what do we do then?
You have to disable one of the searchlights. There's a hacking station behind one of them, I think.
I mean, I can fly around, but I didn't.
One of the searchlights is specifically trained on the exact spot where
Well, yeah, there are two of them.
Yeah.
I assume it's in the area under the
Oh,
overhang.
oh so, okay, sorry. It is just one, I guess, but. I can't. I don't see a spot to hack it, and there's an overhang.
Was there a red spot on top of it?
On what? No.
No. Okay, I'm just seeing things then.
Breaking stuff won't end the mission.
Well, yeah, I already did
You
it,
noticed.
but it's not easy for me to get in otherwise. Oh, okay, so one of them is trained on it all the time, and the other one's like moving up and down. I guess I'm gonna try the roof again. No. Game. I think I've literally destroyed all the boxes in this area now too.
Let's see.
Wait, oh the other one moves away from it? What? You just had to time it.
I think so.
Apparently that's it. cool. Definitely didn't waste a whole bunch of time because I didn't understand the objective. I guess I'm just gonna close it down so I can collect this. Nothing else. Is this? I swear I thought that was gonna hit me. Alright, I assume I probably have to do it again from the other side. I had to guess. Oh look, it's the blue side. Wait, red versus blue. Also, the thing's extending and retracting. There's added difficulty. Shouldn't it be the other way around? Where was that? There it is. Okay, so I'm confused. Who's doing the exporting here again? Okay, cool. Totally had, you know, more time, but I guess the timer was lying to us. Apparently that was a new record for me. Some of these I have literally only done once, so there's that. Sector Beta. All right, color matching. This is X. Mission-wise, I forget.
It really has no definitive version of what it would be.
I guess we'll find out. Reunited with a friend.
Reclaiming this sector could shift the war in our favor. Join with our squadron and launch a counterattack. Understood.
So I haven't really mentioned this, but, you know, speaking of Star Fox 64... Okay, I know which ones are the friendlies, but it's like a bit hard to tell. Hey, I was having that exact same problem. Imagine that.
Oh hey, that guy was the Green pirate.
Look, this game literally reuses everything, so...
Yeah. That guy was the Metro Crusher. This guy is...
what did you drop? Just a silver ring. Wonderful. Well, thanks for being in my way, Falco.
Oh, it's another server.
So I was still flying during that, by the way.
I know.
Well, I'm just pointing it out for the viewers because they might not be able to see.
Have our camera context.
Why are my shots not landing? Thank you. I forget. How am I supposed to get through the shield?
When it's launching one of its lasers.
Oh, one is firing one of the lasers.
Yeah.
I just have to wait for it to actually do that. Oh, it makes a hole in the shield. There we go.
I threw the enemy shield.
If you don't mind, I'm just gonna get some extra hits here. Oops. Well, that didn't work out. Okay. Where did the thing spawn? Was it like towards the front of the ship? Like on top of it here? There we go. I already got this one though. I know. Look, I'm doing, you know, side questy things. And if you want another reason why, you know, the Gyrowing is like even more useless, it's because you can hack things with the chicken walker.
Yeah.
Like, you can literally do Gyrowing missions with the R-Wing and the chicken walker. And it's just sort of better. I feel like it kind of shoots itself in the foot like Super Mario Sunshine does with the floodless levels, where it shows you it's like, yeah, this is what the game is like, you know, when you don't have this mechanic. And in the case of this game, it's like, oh, look at this better alternate control scheme. Whereas with Sunshine, it's, you know, look at how the game is when, you know, you don't have this mechanic, and it's not great.
Isn't this like the level where they just jam pack a bunch of references to? Did you just talk to her like?
Fancy that.
I'm not afraid of you. Go on, try to.
I don't have like any laser upgrades. This is like kind of a problem. Oops. So like I think the dogfights in this game are quite fun.
This game is. This game has the weird, like. It has a few opposite problems, like that Command had. And Command the dogfights are kind of dog shit. In this game, the dogfights are.
I should probably collect this medal. I might have already gotten it, but it does get me health back. That's a plus. Oops.
One thing I also like and also kind of meh on, it's the fact that not every member of Star Wolf team has a singular focus on one character.
Oh, they don't have like a favorite.
For it's most likely you. Although, since you're not playing Starlink, in Starlink, do you care if I spoil Starlink?
Star Fox.
Sorry, important things are happening.
And now, the best theme in the entire series, Star Wolf theme. Not necessarily the best version, but it's a close second.
This can't be happening. Wait, what's this one doing here? I do kind of love how like deep his voice is in this game.
Wolf is kind of, this is like, they want to have British Wolf, but also deep voiced Wolf, so they're like, why not both?
Yeah, por qué no los dos?
Both is good. Also, this is also...
Can't lose. Ooh, we got the yellow one.
All units, report.
Fox, you're awesome.
Ha! That'll send him packing. You've done your father proud, Fox.
Oh, I got 300 exactly, although that's not my best, actually.
Although I'm guessing you already got the gold medal on this.
Yeah. Otherwise, it would have been there. So 300 was the requirement.
300 seems to be the average thing.
The average requirement for it. So yeah, this game borrows a lot from 64, you know, including dialogue and characters. There are a number of lines that are just like verbatim things. Oh boy. We're here now. So just wait until we get to the boss of this one.
Enemy bioweapons are wreaking havoc on planet Fortuna. You must destroy them immediately.
We're fighting Godzilla, right?
No. Closest analog would be, I don't know,
King Ghidorah.
Mothra. I don't. Well, yeah, I know that's the name of the boss.
No,
Oh, sorry,
King
it's-
Ghidorah
King-
is the name of the enemy. Oh, and we already saw the boss.
No, we saw the boss's shadow. That's not the same thing as seeing the boss.
Welcome to the dinosaur plant. One of the two dinosaur plants. And this actual Fortuna, not...
Yes. Not Ficina Fortuna.
How did he have a mining operation on this freaking planet? This planet just looks... Do you think actual dinosaur planet dangerous because dinosaurs? No, at least everything on this planet big enough. Oh, I didn't know they. Those
What?
were all- The. I tend to forget this level a bit.
I wonder why. Is it because of that?
Yes. Monarch Dodoria.
Monarch Dodora.
A
So I'm intentionally not locking on to Wolf again.
yeah.
So that's
Although-
that's one of the things that you can do to get alternate ending, or well, alternate paths, not endings necessarily, but
It does lead to one of the best fights.
yeah, but we'll get to it eventually. Don't worry, I have intentions of showing off all the stages.
I know.
Hi, King Ghidorah.
Hello,
Monarch Dora.
Monarch Dora. That's not nice.
King Ghidorah is the three-headed thing from Godzilla's. aka Godzilla's like destined run.
Hey, look,
Like,
it's you know, it's the bee, not the bee.
not that big. So speaking of Godzilla, do you know how I got my first introduction to Godzilla besides the 1998 movie? Yes, I know it's not a real movie, but I liked it. But, my first actual introduction to actual Godzilla was the SNES game.
Did I actually damage the boss there, or was that just like, you know, pity damage?
I think you might have done a little damage. Like, it might be one of those bosses where what the heck tore up all these?
All right, so this
Ancient-
is the first boss that you will encounter that will do this. Where, well, actually, no, it's not. It's not doing it right now, but I guess that's during the second phase.
I think you're right. Although I think it's more that it does it during different attacks.
During different, yeah. So like, the lock on is a nice thing. Like it's great during dogfights.
Not during boss fights.
But during some of the boss fights, particularly when they force it on you, not a fun time. See, right now it's you know, well, it did it for a moment. Like it'll take control when the game wants to show you something.
Tries to have that Star Fox function with Platinum's with how would I describe it? Platinum's need of show off furry. Yo, how would you describe it? Like, like how would you describe Platinum's game besides like show off furry? What's another word for that?
Oh God, Platinum's games are
Cinematic.
yes, that is a very good word for their games.
Cinematic. I was very confused. Like show offery.
I'm very like I'm coming down from accidentally putting a hole in the wall, so it's just like kind of a little bit hard to think about stuff. So I'm like, I'm worried that I'll I'm gonna have to pay for it. It's like, right? And I'm
I
starting
want to aim at
realize-
the back of the boss, and I can't get around to the back of the boss.
Isn't this not even the worst version of this boss?
No, it's not.
I can believe it with these sort of games.
I can't get the final hits in. It's annoying. Yep, that's a thing that can happen. That took way too long.
I'm gonna be honest, my first time took a lot more than this. So
I'm fine.
Not too shabby, Fox.
Phase 2-6. I was only 2 hits off my best, which I don't know how to feel about that.
also, I think every boss has a timer on how quickly you kill them. Like, depending
Yeah,
on how much.
determines how many hits you get.
I don't even think 64 was that bad about it. Like,
Oh no, definitely not. Alright, here's our equivalent of Area 6.
The quickest route to Venom is through a treacherous debris field. Keep your wits about you.
You don't have to worry about us.
Good luck. Are you ready to kick it into maximum overdrive?
Now
Yeah,
this
so
level,
fast level is fast.
it's awesome, but also not.
Also, yeah, they did just put two medals like right next to each other right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think this is supposed to be more like do the back door on Star Fox 1, I think. At least it's a bit of its level design is.
They even slow time down for you so that you have like time to react there.
Okay, we're going so fast. Where's Darth Vader?
Yeah. If only they did a reference like that.
I mean, that's basically Star Fox, so if he showed up in the stage, that would be him.
Wolf, you mean?
Wolf, yeah.
So,
Brain
each
network.
one of these pathways have something different in them.
Yep.
It's Sector X style. Oh look, this also Sector. You know, this is basically Sector X.
Yeah. And there's the Area 6 enemies.
Oh, I love the defense.
Yeah, this is very Sector X.
I think they just basically combined two of the best levels in 64.
I mean, that's exactly what they did. I mean, obviously not everything is like an exact copy paste, but you know,
Yeah.
they're basically just like remixing the hits.
It's your greatest hits remix. And
Guess who it is?
Boss Battle B? Well, also that, but also
It's the worst version of it. Shoot,
my
we're so
favorite
close to
version-
Venom. Attack carrier.
So, preemptive thought, like second to, well, okay, third to last. One of the last bosses in the game. Like, if you're doing an arcade run of this, will always
So,
be.
yeah, we're in all range mode for this boss. We also don't have a health meter immediately. There we go. There it is. So yeah, the really annoying thing about this version of it is that you have to like circle around to it.
You're specifically talking about the tech here, this being the worst version of this tech.
Yeah.
Right, not the theme, right?
Yes, the boss.
Yeah. Although I find it awesome that the attack here, the joke boss, like even when it's the harder boss in 64 of Corneria, it's still a joke boss.
Oh, oh
Like,
yeah.
They made it into.
I feel like I should have been able to fly over it there.
Like, if you get really good at this game, it can feel like how really good Ace Combat.
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely. But it's just a like the problem is getting there. It has a very I always like I guess maybe not steep learning curve, but long learning curve. if that makes sense.
I guess I had a little bit easier time than most people did because I knew what the heck I was doing.
Well, I mean, like this is me after like one playthrough of the game, and just picking it up after not playing it for a while.
Yeah, that. No. The things I had trouble with were basically the Landmaster and the final boss. And that's mainly because the final boss is bullshit.
Yeah, we'll get there when we get there. So yep, guess what? We get to wait to do another pass. Yeah, this is this boss in a nutshell. Like, for something that went down in like 10 seconds in the original game, sure does take its sweet time here.
And in the original game, 20 and 64. It gets nerfed boss dialogue in the 3DS remake because it doesn't have to deploy all UVs. Just goes to charge.
Should it be vulnerable right now? Because I'm shooting it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, they made it more interesting. Like, so I already killed the one in the middle. Or the front one.
This series wasn't even. This series already heavily influenced by Gundam, Macross. Like, they just need to hammer in with the Gundam references, like having the assault carrier have a laser of death in its.
It's so easy to run into things in this game.
I really wish this boss was in all range mode.
Yeah, that would have helped a lot.
My Emperor! I failed you!
Oh, don't worry, that line's in this game. You seriously think they wouldn't include it? So yeah, I haven't seen a single encoding overloaded message now. So I wonder if, like, just having too low of a bit rate was really the main issue.
It very well could be.
It definitely can be. I guess the unfortunate part is that the higher bit rate means the files will be larger. But if I wanted to, I could re-encode it after the fact and use a lower bit rate but a better preset.
So, Venom has disappeared. However, there is still a way to get to Andros.
What? How?
There's no time to explain. Return to Corneria immediately.
Copy that. On our way.
Well, that was fast. So guess what? We're going back to Corneria. What?
It's only the second of like 3 or 4 levels on Corneria.
So we get Sunset Corneria for the first time since Star Fox 1. Pretty sure, right? I don't think it's appeared other.
Corneria kind of got even more fucked.
Also, this music is a banger. Yeah, I mean, look at how many hits I just got there. It's like pretty insane stuff. Need to be careful, make sure I'm not like taking too many hits though.
This version of Corneria will kick your ass
Oh yeah.
if you're. Can I be honest? When they sent us back to Corneria, I legitimately thought like, oh, they're gonna have a. You have to get everything before you go to. Oh hey, they have the building. Tech. You know what I mean. Also, they have the. So you know those turret things on the. Those turret-like things on, like the streets of Corneria. Those are apparently Venom. Like
Andross's versions of them, I guess.
Yeah. It was cool to learn that when I was like in.
This is bad. I have no health right now. It's just like kind of a problem. Thanks, guys. We're literally saving my skin here. Oh, I missed the medal. That's okay. I already got it. Ooh, I will take that. Thank you very much.
Hyper. Again, Hyper is the best sounding laser.
Yeah, I think I'll always the heck. Excuse me, game. Oh, are you serious?
I think your hyperlation.
Yes, I know they're gone.
Yeah. I said they depend on if you get hit or not. I'm trying to explain to the audience.
Ooh, that was some chunky audio coming out of the gamepad. What's the... Am I missing something here?
evil Gyrowing.
Giant mobile weapon, Gyrowing. Seriously, game? I wasn't even close to it. And then he just turns around and he's like, oh, yeah, you're just gonna, like, take, you know, half your health bar. And lose your hyper lasers, because screw you.
Biggest disappointment in this game, you can lose hyper lasers faster than...
Yeah, that's the problem. Just my pride, mostly. Get out of the way, then! Like... You were literally right in the friggin' way, Peppy. I don't even want to hear it. Yeah, welcome to this. How did I land on that? I was not expecting that to go as well as it did. the landing on the back part.
And we never had to see Gyrowing ever.
Wait, if it's such a big bioweapon, then why is it just... Never mind.
Oh, that wasn't even close. Oh, 269. Okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought.
269.
Nice.
You must be James McCloud's son.
Andros. Andros?
Well, I was wondering when you'd show up.
You know that hologram is definitely to scale. 1 to 1.
I would like to introduce you to something called the square cube law.
Square cube law?
Explain it after.
Okay.
Or Gully can explain it.
Gully,
What's up?
explain square cube law, please.
Square cube law?
Yeah.
Or I can explain it, I guess. Basically, as the surface area of an object in 3D space increases its volume, so basically, surface area increases by a factor of, like, you know, x squared, where the volume increases by the cube factor. So
Yeah.
it
I've heard-
places a limit on how big creatures or animals can be.
Yeah, well,
Because
right.
you know, the bigger you scale up the size, the more mass it'll create. And
Right.
There are issues
And-
with keeping, you know, the larger you get, the harder it is to stay cool.
Fox, do you copy?
Yeah.
So like
I actually-
bigger animals have issues, you know, keeping themselves cool.
I suppose I'd better.
Right.
We originally developed
I remember seeing this actually
east to the galaxy.
in like on a video.
He grew mad with power. He claimed the
Although it's
technology for his own
I've seen it before. I've heard it before, but I actually didn't know the name.
the truth. We decided
Which,
to
as someone who took
teleport Andros to another
maximization,
dimension,
I probably
and it
should.
worked. it without your father, Fox. But now Andros is back, and he's brought some new toys with him. He's even gained control of our teleporters. If this continues, the entire Lilat system will be in his clutches. We must do whatever it takes to stop Andros and destroy this technology. We need you, Fox. Will you help us?
Count on it. Andros won't get away with this.
Just gonna, you know, nod my ship.
So Venom itself was one huge teleportation device.
Oh yeah, that's a thing this game does.
Something here could lead us to Andros. Hurry, Fox. Time is critical.
All right, you want to do a trench run? Well, not yet.
So, do you like do you like making the entire planet of Venom into basically a small asteroid?
I prefer Venom actually being a planet.
Yeah. Oh, you don't? Well,
that.
too bad.
No.
Venom is now an asteroid.
Yep. And a pretty small one at that.
It's not even a Death Star size, even though it has a
Nope.
trench.
Crap. That's no moon. No, really, it's not.
Nope.
It's too small. Well, it could be a moon to a dwarf planet. A moon to a moon.
Dang it. Why is the hitbox on it so small?
Also,
Okay,
this level's a bit.
What am I supposed to be doing here? I honestly forget. I know somebody's supposed to show up at some point.
Shoot the cannons and also
I assume I probably have to go down inside and do something, probably.
yeah, but they want you to kill the cannons first. I think you have to do both eventually.
Oh, there's a marker. Oh. I'll take that.
And we can't see.
Yeah, I'm running around, so I got a laser upgrade, and I just hacked and did that.
Keep it up, Fox.
Is there like another one? There they are.
Honestly, how do you guys feel about fighting the entirety of Star Wolf? But also they can transform. It's just
That's
a fluke.
actually really awesome.
Their transformation is like so much cooler than yours, by the way. They have like
Yeah.
actual, you know, dogs.
Motifs. Well, we're just a fucking chicken walk.
Yep.
I bet you $5 Falco designed the chicken walker.
Yeah. You know, hashtag bias. But I'm
You're good,
better.
but
Oh
not
no,
good.
I lost
No,
it. I saw it happen.
No, it's you're good, but I'm better.
Oh yeah, they slightly adjusted the line.
They adjusted so many lines. And we're gonna get to the one that people really don't like. And I...
Look, I've clocked a lot more damage on you guys than vice versa, so.
Also, locking onto them in walker mode is actually a good trick if they're in walker mode also. You don't necessarily have to aim.
So,
much.
one of the things that I really appreciate about the gyro controls, and I think is a good thing, is that it actually makes leading your shots so much easier.
Yeah. Oh well, we ended on Wolffoot anyway. I feel Star Fox, like, I wish they were actual mechs and not just walkers, like, but then you'd probably get into the issue of, oh, a jet turning into a thing, get into a mech, you'd get into mech cross, but then also,
I forget, do you have to like choose left or right on this one?
yes,
Is there a proper path?
yes, it will auto loop you.
Oh, so it's not even like choose different paths and get different things going into the final boss?
Nope, you'll have to do the whole corridor of illusion over again. It's more like the
Oh, all
exit.
right. Spoil me.
Fuck, let me grab the corridor of illusions. Pause it. I had to actually grab it. Strategy, wiki, Star Fox Zero.
Wait a minute. Okay, so it says 3D voice on or off. If I turn that off, does it come through the actual main game? Is that a thing I could have done all this time? Voice controls always on. Invert the controls. I'm gonna turn that off and just see if it plays through the game, like through the regular audio output. If that's the case, then I could probably disable the gamepad sounds, because that's really the only reason I had it on. Look, I'm just going to start with. Does it like send you out immediately, or do you have to like go through
I'm
and
not
fail?
sure. Alright, so far I think you're going the right way.
I just did left, right, left. All right, that was a wrong choice.
Left, right, left.
You said left, right, left.
Yeah.
Wait, what? I don't think that was a choice.
No.
That was just a bend.
Yep.
Oh, fun. We're doing the Venom stuff.
They have to fit the Venom. They have to fit the Venom space somewhere.
Okay, so I've still got one more fork left, right?
I think so.
Oh, who's that?
Also, like on the third, if you do a third loop,
He'll show up earlier and like show you the way.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, at least the game has that.
I don't know if it's the third loop or, but it's like if you get dead.
Oh yeah, he is speaking through the game now. So I can officially turn the gamepad audio off. And you won't
You
won't
could
miss
do
anything.
that? Oh my god!
Yeah, so see how it doesn't say that because it only has the options on the gamepad. So there's an option called 3D voice, and it was on, and I turned it off.
I hate this boss fight.
Yep.
I hate.
So
this
it's doing the thing where it locks the camera.
Yeah. And this boss fight also, but it also wants you to look at, not at the camera.
Yeah, it wants you to look at the gamepad. So there are a few select ones that are glowing blue on the gamepad. You can't see that.
I do like how they reference low polyandros with the metal.
Hands. Okay. Seriously? There we go. Just gonna avoid that. Thank you very much. How did I destroy the right hand first? Or actually, I guess that'd be his left.
You're gonna want it to leave. I don't like.
Honestly, for this one, I looking at the TV actually helps a lot.
For the yeah.
Avoiding the lasers. Really, all you have to do is just keep flying around and avoid the thing. Oh, there's a laser upgrade floating around in space there.
So, it's not as prevalent in this game, but it's only like mentioned in this part. But there is very much racism between Cornerian and
Hi. I don't like this. Please stop.
and Ross and the like.
Cool. Thanks, game. I don't even know how much damage that did.
Too much.
Oh, come. Are you serious? That is so dumb. I was trying to go and get the health. And guess what? It's actually it's actually impossible to get out of that if you're in the R ring. You just cannot shoot it. What is going on with the...
You love that Andross's best weapon, most powerful attack is Tetris.
What the heck is going on with it? There we go. Is it finally correct? Gamepad view was like doing something weird there. I don't know what it was. Are you serious? I took too long to do the thing, so now I'm taking damage. How is that hand not gone yet? There we go. Managed to collect that on my way out. That's something.
And you immediately lost it.
I love you too, game.
I think this fight brings out the worst of this game.
What? Are you... Oh, we're doing jump rope, okay. Oh, okay, it's open mouth. Yeah, this is just like not comfortable trying to like hold the gamepad and move.
Andross is a transformer now?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a reference to Andross's spell and
Excuse me. And the worst part is I'm gonna die here and I'm just gonna lose all that time. I don't like this fight.
no one likes this fight.
And my lasers are gone. Because I died, so fuck me. I don't even see the the drop. Like there was a laser upgrade that was floating in the middle on the last one. I don't see that this time. Dang it. I've gotten that before. Is it just me, or does it feel like my lasers don't matter?
Oh, hey, lasers.
I think it's easier to dodge it when they're coming at you instead of trying to go in the same direction as them. Seriously, game?
That was actually kind of BS.
This fight is really
I'm
BS.
gonna actually just fly all the way in. I really hate how they make you do really all of the important stuff in Chicken Walker. It's like way to pick one of like the worst modes. What? Thank you for putting me over the pit, game. What could I do there? Like, seriously. I was aiming at it and hitting it most of the time. It was still not good enough. Like, it honestly, it aggravates me that the hands aren't vulnerable. Like, all the time. Also, you have health pickups, but some of them are, like, basically impossible to grab safely. Unless you're, like, you know, flying around on the outside or something like I just did there. Cool. There's a ledge. What am I supposed to do again here? I have no idea how much damage I actually did there. Okay, seriously, I can't see. The camera is making it literally impossible to see myself right now. Get out of here.
And you're done.
Do I have to do something? What do I have to do here?
Dodge him.
Why is this backwards? Guess what? The controls are backwards.
You have to make it back to your friends, Fox.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
No.
Supposed to be doing something here.
U-turn.
I think I got out. Wait, what does shooting him do?
More points. I think.
Wait, why is the audio not playing now, game?
Was some fine work out there.
Why did you suddenly change the rules?
Is something wrong, Fox? No, nothing. Nothing's wrong.
Man, this ended up being farther past the 2-hour mark than I was hoping. But I didn't want to just leave it because we were so close. You know, I enjoyed myself a decent amount throughout the stream, but like, the final boss just kind of washed all of that away. I mean, it'll fade eventually, but I don't like that final boss.
Final boss can make or break the game, man.
Well, it's the last impression that you get, right?
Yeah.
Aside from like the gameplay post boss, but
Well,
yeah.
Most games it would be the last impression you get. This game, not as much. At least you don't have to fight. I was about to say Sigma.
No, there will always be more Sigma fights.
Andros again in this game.
Are there any different like versions of Venom?
No,
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
So yeah, if we're just going by levels, then yeah, I technically don't have to play that again. Huzzah! Also, you know, just copy all of the Star Fox 64.
Fox, we are in your debt.
So, you discussing math, is that the reason why you weren't saying as
There's
much?
a place for you in the Cornerian army, if you want it.
Me?
Sorry,
No,
General.
Gully.
We like doing things our own way.
What's up?
Oh, I was you know.
Oh, I don't have anything really to say too much. I didn't play much with Star Fox, except for 64. I guess Adventure, but that doesn't really count.
Why are we using the chicken walkers? Seriously, that is the less efficient form of travel.
There's a no-fly zone near Corneria because of all the destruction, and people are worried that the military might take up arms if they fly.
Can't we just buzz the tower?
Didn't the Mandalorian get in trouble for that? And
Yes.
Everyone gets in trouble for.
Yeah. Okay, why the heck is my... It's like trying to scroll on Discord and it's just not working properly is weird. So, I mean, we'll be playing more of this, obviously. My thoughts on this game is that there's potential there, but I think there's a good amount of wasted potential. Like, I wish more of the game was the good stuff. R-Wing, maybe some of the Landmaster stuff.
maybe wasn't the walker had actual full stick controls instead of.
Yeah, like I'm not saying the walker couldn't work, but it definitely needs adjusting.
Yeah.
If they were to use it
inevitably
again.
remake it on the Switch.
And you know, if you ask me, like, I'd rather they just do on foot stuff, not in the R-Wing, because then they could utilize more of a traditional, like, either first person or third person shooter controls.
So what you're saying is that
I want Assault 2.
you want a spiritual successor to Assault, or an actual successor. This game is dedicated to our fallen wingmen who have fallen in battle. AK, rest in peace. Was this the year that's...
Satoru Iwata? Yes, I believe so.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Satoru Iwata.
But yeah, so like obviously I'll be touching on some of this stuff in the retrospective, but the Star Fox series has tried a number of different gameplay styles now, and some of them work better than others. So obviously, you're not gonna have everything. I think having too many gameplay styles is a bad thing, because it just it dilutes them all, right? Unless you have enough content to really kind of get everything out of each of the different gameplay styles. But it's hard to manage that without at least some of it feeling like bloat, So, I think Star Fox probably works best when you have some variety to the gameplay styles, like R-Wing and Landmaster and, on foot or whatever. But, I do think they need to take care with what they include to make sure that it's actually good and worth it, and not just like don't just throw ideas at the wall, right? Like, this game definitely feels like a let's throw a bunch of ideas at the wall sort of a game. Because I mean, think about how many different vehicle types you have, right? You have on rails R-Wing, all range mode R-Wing, the Chicken Walker, Landmaster, Gravmaster, Gyrowing. Am I forgetting anything?
Plus for the Landmaster and Gyromaster on rails and...
Yeah, right. Like this is a criticism that I'll level at 64, where the Landmaster gameplay and the R-Wing gameplay are not totally interchangeable, but like you could put an R-Wing in the Landmaster levels and it would work.
Yeah.
It would work well enough. So my main point is like, you know, and something that I'll dock this game for is that, you know, make sure that the gameplay styles feel distinct enough to have a reason to exist. You know, like I definitely this game and to a certain extent 64 suffer from the, well, you really didn't need to have another vehicle type for this necessarily.
Bloomerang basically just acts like an R-wing, but with infinite torpedoes.
Yeah, the torpedoes, which that, you know, I'll let that slide because it's a one-off thing. You could have just made that an R-wing and equipped it with torpedoes for that level. That would have also worked, but
The tank is literally the only like major change, like because it
This is
changes.
one steep bill, but it's worth it.
He says
Does
it. He says.
yeah, we got that one, but does he do the what in this one too?
I don't know.
There you go.
That would be cool if he did, but I don't think so.
I would have to actually get a high enough score if such a thing exists.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this stream has gone on for long enough, so if you don't mind, I'm going to end it. Like right now, unless you have any further things to say. We'll be back. There'll be more. So,
Join me on
adios.
my stream tomorrow. Red will be there as well. Bye.
Okay, I'm killing the stream now. I'm actually going to do it. Like the stream is going to end.